Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Just a minute, getting into my computer.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. We'll continue reading from the book called The Living Name by His Holiness Sachidananda Swami. We are on the second chapter called Sambandha, chanting in a devotional relationship. Bound together in a relationship. That's the title of this passage. After Yojana, that the chapter 1 that we did to align the body, mind, and the action part. After Yojana, the next practice represents the most important element in my view. Chanting with a sense of relationship. If you learn how to do this, there will be a vast improvement in your chanting. The Sanskrit word sambandha indicates relationship, but literally it means bound together. Samma means sam means together, bandha means bound. Sambandha is that understanding which binds you to Krishna. It is an inner orientation for chanting the holy name that brings you into the presence of the Lord. Sambandha begins with a general sense that I am part of Krishna. Later, when you chant the holy name free from offenses, your relationship with Krishna becomes clearer. At the last stage, the holy name reveals your unique spiritual identity, including your spiritual body, character traits, and the particular service you have for Radha and Krishna in the spiritual world. Srila Prabhupada writes in this connection, this is from Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Madhya-līlā 7.142 purport. By the practice of devotional service, beginning with hearing and chanting, the impure heart of a conditioned soul is purified, and thus he can understand his eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That eternal relationship is described by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jivere Swarupa Hai Krishna Nityadasa. The living entity is an eternal servitor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When one is convinced about this relationship, which is called sambandha, he then acts accordingly. When one is convinced about this relationship, which is called sambandha, he then acts accordingly. The greatest problem of material life is that we forget that we have a completely different identity to the one we have temporarily assumed right now. Our true identity is covered as we become bound by Maya's illusions. When the self is lost, when the self is lost, all is lost. The purpose of any yoga system, particularly Bhakti Yoga, must therefore be to again connect the disconnected soul to the Lord. In a well-known analogy, this means that the spark returns to the fire where it can sparkle and dance again. Let's move to the next section, chain around the neck. Srila Prabhupada described how we are bound by Maya in the material world. This is again from Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Madhya-līlā, 22.25 from the purport. It is a fact that every living entity is eternally a servant of Krishna. This is forgotten due to the influence of Maya, which induces one to believe in material happiness. Being illusioned by Maya, one thinks that material happiness is the only desirable object. This material consciousness is like a chain around the neck of the conditioned soul. As long as he bound to that conception, he cannot get out of Maya's clutches. However, if by Krishna's mercy he gets in touch with a bona fide spiritual master, abides by his order and serves him, engaging other conditioned souls in the service, Lord services, he then attains liberation and Lord Sri Krishna's shelter. We conditioned souls can be released from Maya's tight bond around our necks only by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. Only when that chain is broken are we free to enter a loving sambandha with Krishna. Here is an anecdote that expresses this beautifully. There was once a circus in India that burned to the ground. All the animals escaped with the exception of one elephant. The tigers broke free, the monkeys scurried away. Every animal managed to find freedom in spite of being behind prison bars, all except for this one robust elephant. Much to everyone's surprise, it was discovered later that the elephant was tied to a pole with nothing more than a thin, flimsy rope. That elephant was strong. That elephant was stronger than all the other animals. His obstacle to freedom, a flimsy rope. How could it be? A deeper study brought to light that when this elephant was young, it had been captured from the jungle and tied with an iron chain to a tree. From 1 week to for 1 week, the calf tried to escape. It pulled on the chain until its leg was covered with blood and pus. The wound got infected and fleas feasted. The young elephant continued trying frantically to break the chain, but finally surrendered to its fate and stopped pulling. From that time onward, his guards removed the chain and replaced it with a flimsy rope. The elephant never tried to escape. They then sold him to the circus. What was going on? This elephant always remembered how it was bound when it was young and could not escape. The iron chain still existed in its mind, even after being physically removed. For the elephant, the chain forever bounded him to this sentiment, I can't change my fate. Each of us is also bound by an iron chain in our minds. It is covered with the rust of impressions and desires hardened over many lifetimes. You cannot see it with these eyes, though you can know its presence by behaviors stemming from your conditioned nature. The chain keeps us under indenture. We are tightly tied to our present condition, to our present identity, and to the material world. Every time we feel impelled to advance spiritually, it tugs at us, doing its best to halt our progress. Worse still, our problems deepen because this chain feels like a part of us. We are so accustomed to being in Maya that we have never known anything else. Who would you be without the chain? It's frightening to glimpse into the unknown. Can we break free from this chain? Virtually impossible. The chain is far stronger than any actual iron chain. We can escape a physical chain if we crack it with heavy tongs. But in this world, there is no tongs to destroy the chain in the mind. Going to continue reading next section. Freed by Krishna. But there is a hope. Krishna lives in the inner mind, which is called the chitta in Sanskrit and the subconsciousness by modern psychologists. As the deity of the chitta, Krishna is known as Chitta Hari because he is the enchanter of the inner mind. He can easily break the chain. He can easily break the chain and free us from the clutches of past conditioning if we seriously turn to him. And that is the whole point of chanting in sambandha, to become aware that we have a relationship with the Lord and need to turn to him. In Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Madhya-līlā 22.33, it is said, Krishna tomara hana yati bhale eka bhara, maya bandha haite Krishna kare kare para. One is immediately freed from the clutches of Maya if he seriously and sincerely says, My dear Lord Krishna, although I have forgotten you for so many long years in the material world, today I am surrendering unto you. I am your sincere and serious servant. Please engage me in your service. This powerful prayer brings us into divine connection, or at least into the awareness that we have a divine relationship with Krishna. Thus, it brings us closer to Krishna's saving grace. We can see this in action during the amazing pastime where Krishna delivers the snake Kaliya from his demonic mentality. After the dramatic moments when Krishna crushes Kaliya's hundreds of hoods while dancing on them, Kaliya, weird and barely breathing, says, this is from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.16.56 through 59 paraphrased. Oh my Lord, it is so difficult to give up one's conditioned nature. Though it causes us to identify with that which is unreal, we serpents are bitter, envious, and angry by nature. How can we possibly give this up on our own? Thankfully, you are the omniscient Lord of the universe and can free us from our illusion. Let me read this again. Oh my Lord, it is so difficult to give up one's conditioned nature, though it causes us to identify with that which is unreal. We serpents are bitter, envious, and angry by nature. How can we possibly give this up on our own? Thankfully, you are the omniscient Lord of the universe and can free us from our illusion. beautiful for us to meditate for today, starting from the wonderful analogy or anecdote on the elephant being tied, not with chain, but then just with the flimsy rope. So I can't change my fate, is what usually devotees also say. So when we say I cannot change, I cannot become devotee, maybe next lifetime I'll be better. This is all when we say, when we think, we can think of this particular example of elephant is being tied with the flimsy rope. For such ideas that if we have, then we have to turn towards Krishna to remember our sambandha with Krishna. And as it said here, one is immediately freed from the clutches of Maya if he seriously and sincerely says, "My dear Lord Krishna, although I have forgotten you for so many long years in the material world, today I am surrendering unto you. I am a sincere and serious servant. Please engage me in your service." When we do that, we also have this prayer in our mind. Oh my Lord, it is so difficult to give up one's conditioned nature, though it causes us to identify with that which is unreal. We serpents are bitter, envious, and angry by nature. How can we possibly give this up on our own? Thankfully, you are the omniscient Lord of the universe and can free us from our illusion. Krishna Balaram ki jai. Thank you very much for joining this morning.